All right, guys, in this video, we're talking about Ghost of Tsushima shockingly winning the Player's Voice Award. Now, I had to use the word shockingly because based off of how a lot of people are reacting, you would think that Ghost of Tsushima was some kind of mediocre game that didn't deserve this award, but I'm here to let you know, Ghost of Tsushima 100% not only deserved this award, but earned it. Okay, I want to focus on that in this video. I want to celebrate this because anybody who's followed this channel for some time, you know that I played both The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, and I really had a much better time with Ghost of Tsushima. I think that The Last of Us did have its strengths, and there were certain aspects of it that I could enjoy and did appreciate, but there were others that I just simply didn't. And when I think about my playtime with both of the games, I find that I think back much more fondly on Ghost of Tsushima for one reason and one reason only. It was a great game, and I had a lot of fun playing it. And so when you look at this award, you look at this achievement, first of all, congratulations to Sucker Punch. Well earned here. I don't think anybody can argue that Ghost of Tsushima is not anything less than a great game. And it's fascinating because you see a lot of people, again, reacting to this as if it didn't deserve it, that the awards were rigged or something like that. And I'm just not even going to bother listening to any of that noise. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer you to an interesting statistic that was revealed by Sony that I think maybe should kind of prove something here. And what it should prove is that a lot of people played Ghost of Tsushima and a lot of people really thoroughly enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima. And to make it seem as though it's anything other than that, I think is just a little bit foolish. So this was, I think, in early November, almost mid-November, Sony revealed that Ghost of Tsushima is their fastest-selling first-party original PS4 game, with more than 5 million copies sold since its debut in July, and I'm sure it went on to sell more than that since they revealed this. And what's sad is that people are going to downplay this. Now, maybe The Last of Us Part 2 did sell more copies than Ghost of Tsushima. We really don't know. We only got one number revealed by Sony, and I think that was 4 million copies in like 3 days roughly, which is extremely impressive. So I assume it went on to sell even better than that, right? What people fail to understand is that doesn't paint the entire picture. What they're failing to realize is that just because The Last of Us Part 2 may have sold more copies than Ghost of Tsushima, that doesn't mean that more people enjoyed it. In fact, I could argue that a lot of people who played The Last of Us Part 2 didn't enjoy it. In fact, all you have to do is go watch some reviews from prominent, well-respected reviewers who just simply had criticisms of the game, and some of them just straight up didn't enjoy it at all. And you'll find that there's a lot of people who don't hate The Last of Us 2, they just feel exactly that way. They played it, they knew that there were some good aspects to it, but overall they just didn't enjoy it. Whereas when you look at Ghost of Tsushima, seems like a lot of people, overwhelmingly so, enjoyed the game. In fact, it's hard to find an individual who's walking away from a game like Ghost of Tsushima having anything less than something good to say about it. I mean, that's not to say it's a perfect game. I don't think any game is truly perfect. Every game has its flaws, but in general, Ghost of Tsushima, I think that it just has so much to offer, right? It's a new IP, it's a beautiful world, it has a great story to tell, the side missions are great, the world is fun to explore. It can get a little bit dull at some points, and by dull, I don't mean visually, I'm talking about with the things you have to do. It can get repetitive, but the combat is really fun, it's really engaging, you get better and better, you encounter new types of enemies. Not only that, but I think it's safe to say that to a lot of people, the story left them feeling relatively satisfied by the end of it. Whereas I think for a lot of people, by the end of the story, The Last of Us Part 2, it was very divisive. And that alone is going to make a lot of people say, I don't know if I'm going to vote for The Last of Us Part 2. And so I think that regardless of who ended up winning this award, it's very impressive to see these games kind of clashing like this because it just speaks to the general quality that you get from Sony's first party. Whether you love it or not, I don't think anybody can deny its high quality. And so I felt the need to make this video to not only just celebrate this fact and let you guys know, because I enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima so much, I'm very happy to see this. The Player's Choice Award is a is a player's voice award. I mean, it's a very important award because it's the players voting, right? And so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that some of these votes are not coming from places where they shouldn't be, as in people who didn't actually play the game, of course, but that goes both ways. It is a two-way street. We cannot sit here and pretend that Ghost of Tsushima is simply getting all of these votes from people who didn't even play the game. Meanwhile, every single vote for The Last of Us Part 2 is coming from people who did play the game. That's not how this works. It is a two-way street. The point is this, and the fact is this. Ghost of Tsushima sold 5 million copies. Probably more than that at this point. That's a lot of people playing that game. In fact, I don't think people realize just how insanely impressive 5 million copies is in just the span of 3 months for a new IP. That is absolutely incredible. This game is an absolute juggernaut, regardless of what anybody thinks. Okay, that's the fact. On top of that, go look at, and I know it's not the be-all, end-all, and I'm not even saying it's really that relevant, but it is something worth mentioning. Ghost of Tsushima has a user rating on Metacritic of 9.2. 9.2. Let that sink in. Do you know how difficult it is for any game to sit at that level? People have to really enjoy the game for that to be a thing. So the fact of the matter is it won, and it's deserving of it. And 99%, in my opinion, of the people who voted for this, it's because they like the game. It's because they like what's on offer. It's because Sucker Punch actually delivered something truly amazing. And if you love The Last of Us and you think that The Last of Us is just as deserving, that's perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you think Ghost of Tsushima simply isn't deserving, there's nothing wrong with that as well. But to sit here and act as if they didn't earn it, I think that that's a little bit foolish, honestly. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It doesn't mean you have to say that Ghost of Tsushima is the best game in the universe because it just is. No, you can believe Ghost of Tsushima isn't that good at all, but you can't deny that it won. And it's, in the eyes of gamers, a better game in some ways, or maybe in many ways. I can tell you right now, my opinion, I played Ghost of Tsushima. I played The Last of Us Part 2. We're talking about video games here, by the way, not movies, not music. This is the medium of video games interacting. I put about the same amount of time, probably a little bit, certainly more time in Ghost of Tsushima, but roughly I put about 25 to 30 hours in The Last of Us Part 2. I put probably closer to 40, 45 hours, maybe even more than that if you count the multiplayer in Ghost of Tsushima. And I will tell you right now, I had such a better time playing Ghost of Tsushima. And as a video game, it felt great to play. And that's what mattered most to me. So anyway, guys, I don't mean to continue to ramble here, but I just wanted to make this video to congratulate Sucker Punch, to congratulate Sony. I'm sure that The Last of Us Part 2 is going to walk away with the Game of the Year award from the Game Awards. And so anybody who's feeling upset about, The Last of Us Part 2 not coming out on top, don't worry. I'm sure you're going to have your time in the sun, just like Ghost of Tsushima is right now. And so in general, I think we can all agree that it just goes to show Sony is putting out some high-quality games, man. Whether you love them, whether you hate them, again, there's no denying the quality. So just wanted to congratulate them and just remind everybody that Ghost of Tsushima is a great game. And it won because people love great games. People love this game, and it deserves it. And it's a real shame, in my opinion, that there are probably hardworking developers right now who are very passionate about this game, that being Ghost of Tsushima, and some of them probably have to be left feeling as if this isn't a genuine win because there's a group of people screaming that this was unfair and it shouldn't have won and it's fraudulent. No, Ghost of Tsushima deserves this win. It's a great game, period. End of discussion. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.